Hi everyone, and welcome to Sam's Hair System and Grooming channel. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a hair system template. At first this can seem daunting, but it is actually really simple. All you're going to need is some cling film, scissors, sharpie and masking tape, and that's all you need. The main thing to remember here is that it doesn't need to be perfect. You know, you're doing this yourself. If you get the template sort of roughly the right size for your head, and then you get your hair system, you're going to cut it and it's going to be the size you need. But I'll have the fitting in my next video, but for this video it purely is just making a template. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, please like and subscribe. So let's start the video. So as you can see here, I'm just putting the cling film on my head. I need to add a little bit of pressure to the cling film just so it stretches down on top of my head. And then what you need to do is just flatten it out a bit so it's nice and smooth. It doesn't have to be completely smooth, but nice and smooth-ish on your head. And then as you see there, I'm pulling the sides down, and then I'm just going to do a single tie on there under my chin. As you can see here, I've got already a cut that's been going on my head, so where obviously I've taken the system off preparing for my new system. But this is essentially all you need to do for the first part. Just get it not overly tight, but tight enough that it holds there, and give a nice press around on your head. Once that is done, then you are going to be nearly ready to start with the marking. So first of all, right, as you can see, I've got the Sharpie. I'm now going to find the center of my head. So there's multiple ways you can do this, but usually from the bridge I do 4 fingers, and then I just do a little dot right in the center, as center as possible. And then you'll see me mark either side of where I want to add the marks and create the template. So the main thing to remember here, you don't have to worry too much when it comes to drawing these lines, because a hairline should not be perfect. So to me, the perfect hairline is not the perfect hairline. That is how you'll make it look a lot more realistic. Even if there's a point, your hair will sort of go over, it will fold over, it will make it look a lot more realistic. And as you can see here, I'm just going to get my mirror so I can start having a look round to get an idea. So apologies first of all, this is a bit of a rushed template purely because you know, the time for the video, I don't want to make it too long. So I'm just roughly drawing around, as you can see there, just to get a line, and I'm going to do the same the other side. It does get trickier when it gets to the back, but again, as long as you're roughly getting to the areas that have the balding in them, you're not going to have much an issue. Like I say, when you cut the hair system, you're cutting it to your template, so it's going to cover all those areas. And the only time I would say, if you ever wanted this to be exact and perfect, is if you're going to have something like a crew cut where it's all going to be shaved up. But that is rare in the hair industry. It's something I will be doing a video on at another time. So right, I'm going to give it another check and just try and draw up the lines. This can be confusing when you're holding a mirror and trying to draw a line, because the directions go a bit off. But just take your time, you know, don't rush like I'm doing here. It's just for the educational purpose of showing you how to do this. So I should get to a point soon where I've, you know, matched up both sides. I'm going to have a look. I'm like, right, okay, yep, I've done the lines. So the lines are all done. So the next thing is the masking tape. So if at first, you know, this doesn't seem to make sense, it will make sense as we go along. This is such an easy way to do it. It's really easy, and you know, it's going to get you that template you need. So I'm just doing the first one you want to go over the lines. So again, you're not matching the lines. This is what makes it so much easier. Just tape over the lines. And what you're going to do, you just need to slightly overlap each one. So there's not going to be any gaps, but don't worry, you know, there'll be more to it and you can come back and do, you know, redo some of those lines. So there's not really going to be much of an issue there. So what I'll do in a moment, I'll speed up the video to get to the next part. As you can see, I'm just overlapping the lines, and I'm going to keep doing this until I get to the very back of my head and I've covered that last line at the back of my head. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to speed up the video just so we can get past this bit a lot quicker. As you can see, I'm just using my fingers because it gets harder to get to the back, but I'm using my fingers to feel where the tape is so I can roughly put the tape on there. And what this will do, this just means, you know, you're going to cover the majority. At the back you're probably going to have more tape because it's harder to do, but as you can see the lines are all being covered up. And what I do is I go over the line. I want to make sure it's, you know, quite secure on my template and there's nothing missed. So even on this first time, you don't have to worry too much, because what we're going to do, which you're going to see in a minute, we are going to be going the other way with the tape. So there you go, you can see my first one there. And just to slow it down a bit, so now I'm going from front to back. So again, doesn't need to be perfect, as long as you're covering the lines. You know, you're making this template quite durable at the moment by adding the extra layer. So I wouldn't advise to do one layer, it's not going to work properly. You need to do 2 layers, so one going one way and one going the other way, just front to back. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to speed up the video just so we can skip past some of this, and I'm just going to keep going all the way, front to back, all around the sides. And what you'll see in a moment is that I will cover up some of the gaps. I'll do a few bits of extra tape just to make sure. And now as we're going back to here, and you should see, right, I'm just doing a few extra bits where I feel like I may have missed some, and just so that way it's strong as possible. So now taking the template off my head, and this is important, don't forget to write the F for front, because you know you're always going to want to know where the front is. So next part will be cutting templates. If we turn upside down, we now have our line for the template. So as you can see, it is quite wobbly on the line, but again with the cutting you can easily cut a lot straighter on the template. So this will, you know, get you a bit more of an even distribution on your template that you need. Like I say, it's really straightforward. It's really easy to do. Once you've done it a few times, then you know you're going to be able to do it a lot quicker each time. You can use this template as well for when you do get a hair system. You'll get a plastic cover with the hair system. You can put this on top of that, mark out on the plastic cover of the hair system, just so you've got multiple templates. So yeah, and this is nearly done, and there you have your template, and it's as simple as that. And that's going to be all you need to create your first template for your head. Please, if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. I'll try to answer as much as possible. Always, you know, maybe do this a few times just to give it a go, just so you start getting used to it, because it might be that you need to find a few different templates to, you know, find the one that you feel like is going to work for you. So because you might have some that might go a little bit wider, a little bit shorter, but the main areas you want to cover is where the end is start balding to match the sides of your head. So yeah, please like and subscribe if you can, but thanks for watching my video.